So we're human beings coming together, gathering for the opportunity of discovering and aligning with our divine nature. So obviously, we're going to be having these periods of time where it just seems like too much. But this is actually where we really have the choice. Because when we're at the boundary of what we think we can be or do, we're at the threshold of what's next, possibly. Now, obviously, our ego can't do that. Something else does that, right? Something else in us leaps. Actually, that's what this conversation with the Mother Book is about. It's about aligning with this something else that has actually been leaping us all along. It is the one that has us here again and again for most of you. It is the thing that's living you. Aligning with that principle is really what we're here to explore, and we're here to explore this using the Mother Book, which is a reiteration of the Bhagavad Gita, that Shree Aurobindo's summary, putting together different teachings that have come forward that are effectively a very directive manual that gives a sincere seeker all the information they need to remember when these moments of too much come up. And we're once again choosing to go forward or back off. I can't tell you how to do this. It is literally something you have to discover for yourself. And if you haven't discovered this in the life you've lived, you may have a few more lives to get this. That this crossing thresholds, this period of time where we go right beyond what we think we can, that becomes the inertia, the resistance, the rebellion, in which we have a choice. Now, what is the choice? The choice is to align with that doesn't see the benefit, that doesn't see the cost-benefit analysis in their favor, or is the choice was that's willing to sacrifice for something not yet known? So ultimately, a spiritual path will take you to this point. There will be the bliss, there'll be the connection, there'll be the awakening, there'll be the sense of expansion and possibility, but it will come right down to this collaboration between the large self and the little self, this willingness of the little self to surrender to the larger self. So the Mother Book is poignant in its focusing, but it's also the thing to be speaking to, because many of you actually, by committing to this program, have pushed beyond the threshold. I know that. I know that many of you have had to reach deeper into your resources, deeper into your willingness, deeper into your willingness to commit to. And what is that quality of you that does those things? What is that piece of you that's capable of taking you beyond yourself? This is what we're here to worship. This entire conversation is about worship. It is about being able to surrender, to sacrifice, to offer up to something greater, not yet known. Not so much for ourselves, although the benefit of doing so becomes more and more enriching, but for a purpose larger than our own. To serve humanity, to serve the opportunity that human existence is, to open and hold the space for the million of generations that have yet to come. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the uniqueness of Shree Aurobindo's teaching, because it was this statement that I'm going to read to you, this single paragraph, which I found in his book, Letters on Yoga, that I just feel brings a clear, concise structure, clarification of the nature of what he discovered, and which awakened me, has probably, that principle has awakened all of you. to whatever extent you are on their journey, that is now here and available to mankind that wasn't in the centuries before. And that he consciously did this. He consciously recognized, hey, of all the spiritual teachings and all the tradition, they're missing this. This is bringing it back into the world. This is making it real in this dimension. Hey, you left the world behind. Hey, we left the world behind in our awakening. And this is the consequence of that. Without the spirit, matter will collapse within itself. And you can be sure the balance between the opportunity of evolution and the loss of the opportunity of evolution is the same as the creation, where scientists say that 1/1,000,000% less matter, the Big Bang, the universe would have never organized. It was just scattered forever. And 1/1,000,000th too little matter, it would have collapsed into itself, back into the black hole. So peril is not an abstraction. For all the temperature we have, all we need is 2 degrees and we're fucked. If your body temperature gets to be 101, you're sick. All it needs is 1.5 degrees and you're sick. Everything in existence is perilous. Everything in existence is in a balance. If spirit is not in the right balance with matter, then the collective consciousness is sick. It's an ailment. It has a risk of complications, even death. And that's where we are. So Shree Aurobindo said, this is the consequence of all the great awakened beings not coming back into the world sufficiently to assist in the evolutionary movement of all of humanity. The nature of awakening, all there is the now. What future? Right? That's the awareness teaching. What future? There's no past, there's no future. Well, that's actually a truth. But it leaves out everything else. We can't do this. We cannot. As a species, we have to bring this in. We have to live it. We have to actually be it. Until then, we live for this correction. We live for her. We work with her until we become her, as her. So this is the principle Shree Aurobindo found. The way of yoga followed here has a different purpose from others, for its aim is not only to rise out of the ordinary ignorant world consciousness into the divine consciousness, which is a worthy pursuit, guaranteed. We can't solve the problem from being part of the problem itself. So we have to wake out, we have to break out. The transcendence not only has to come, it has to become stable enough that we can come back. But to bring the supramental power of that divine consciousness down into the ignorance of mind, life, and body, to transform them, to manifest the divine here and create a divine life in matter. And that's what we're doing. That's our work. That's your work. That's the Satya Dharma. That's the ultimate Dharma. There's no Dharma in the final realization. The Dharma happens here, where the final realization is brought here and made real.